Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Amy. This is my channel, and here we talk about witchcraft and all kinds of supernatural and spiritual type things. Today we're doing a pick a card tarot oracle reading. I say tarot and oracle because I use both types of decks in this reading. This reading is specifically for you around now. I'm sure you all know Imbolc is coming up. Woo! Imbolc is coming up, and that means that we're kind of celebrating the warmth that is coming back with spring, getting ready for spring, and sort of doing our yearly cleansing, shedding of winter's darkness, starting to feel the warmth on our faces again thing. But it's not Ostara, so spring's not like back. What we're going to talk about, or rather what the reading is for, is what you need to purge before spring comes. So this is for now, for this time of year, but it isn't limited to Saturday. Obviously, purging, healing, and changing, resetting are things that we do that take time. So if you missed the video when it's released on Saturday, do not panic. It still applies to you. If you're watching this 10 years from now, maybe it still applies to you. My approach with these tarot readings is that they're not all going to be for everybody. My belief is that the people who are drawn to the readings are the people who they are meant for and who they will help. So just a quick rundown on how this works in case you haven't done one of these before. I will be doing 3 readings, one each with 3 different decks. I will leave the timestamps for each deck down below. Before I get started, I'm going to show you all 3 decks, and I want you to choose. Pause the video if you need to, kind of decide with your intuition, with your heart, with your mind, your spirit, which deck is the one that's calling to you, and then go ahead and skip ahead to the timestamp that corresponds with that tarot deck. If you want to watch all of them, you absolutely can. This reading is a little bit crazy, and I will talk about that. I'll talk about why it's crazy at the end of the video. So yeah, I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a basic 3-card spread, starting with the gray tarot deck. Then I'll move on to the red oracle deck, and then to the gold tarot deck. This is the past card. This could be any time in the last 2 to 3 months. This is the 10 of Wands. This card is a difficult one because wands are usually associated with fire, creativity, passion, but here you're seeing that the light is very dim. It's almost as if you're looking through a thicket or brambles, like the poisonous thorns surrounding Sleeping Beauty's castle. I just see darkness and difficulty and inability to pass, while still being able to see that there is something on the other side, but not being able to reach it. This is the present card. The present card is the Hermit. You are your own watchtower. You are your own guard, your own light. You're keeping yourself safe, but you're not wandering out at all. You're not venturing too far into the darkness. You're staying in your shell where you know you're protected, where you know the darkness is unable to touch you, the poison is unable to touch you. However, you're unable to stay there. You think you can stay there indefinitely, but you can't. You cannot stay there. Eventually, you'll run out of oil. Your light will burn down, and then the darkness will be all around you. It'll be within you. So you have to make peace with the darkness, and you're going to do it one way or the other. You'll make peace when it invades, or you'll make peace on your own terms, but it will come. The future card could be any time in the next few weeks to a month. Remember that future cards are always based on, you always have free will. So the future changes every time you make a decision, every time somebody involved in your future or your question makes a decision. Sometimes even the tiniest decision or mind change will change the future. So remember that divination is more of a system to see what you can't see on your own, and it's not hard and fast, this is what will happen. The future card is death. The death card to me actually symbolizes what Imbolc is about. It is saying that something must die for new life to emerge. That there is beauty in death, that there is art in death, that death is necessary for something else to come. When we die, we go to the ground and we fertilize it, and out of the ground comes new life and growth. So if you can, this Imbolc season, make peace with your fear, let it die, embrace it, understand it, become one with it, and let it go. Something beautiful will be born out of the soil. This is the second deck. Past position, present position, future position. The past position could be any time in the last 2 to 3 months to a year. The present position is your present condition. The future position could be any time in the next 2 weeks to a month. I'm actually thinking 3 months. I don't know why, but let's go with 3 months. Oh, this is so weird. The past card is the Medusa head. The Medusa head is a card of protection. Medusa was turned into a monster because she retaliated. She's not really a monster. She's the ultimate protection, because even if you look at her, you're turned to stone. To have the power of a Medusa is very powerful, but it is also very lonely. No one will ever see her. No one will really understand her. No one can be with her. All she has is herself and the voices in her head and the life that she weaves around herself. I would even go so far as to say the the lies and denials and instincts that you have used to convince yourself that the reality that you live in is the truth. It is the real reality. And that it doesn't get better than that. That is how powerful this protection is. The present card is the silver sixpence. The silver sixpence is a card of reward. It is hollow. Silver is cold. It's magical, but it's cold. It's hollow and it's meaningless and it's finite. Money is not infinite. It doesn't continue to move. And so money, while it can often symbolize, like I said, a reward, it can also, and it can symbolize abundance. Also, money can symbolize a fixation on something that is not the true cause of your circumstances, a fixation on something that isn't really what's going to help your circumstances, a fixation on something that is only going to prove useful to an extent and then prove to be very hollow, useless in what really matters. The future card, the final card, is the shoe. The shoe is a card of utility. It is a card of going, of walking, being prepared. The shoe is moving forward. And this is good, especially with spring coming for Imbolc. This is good because this tells you that if you can look past your delusions and the things that you've told yourself, whether you realize it or not, often it's unconscious, subconscious. If you can look past the lies that you've weaved, the traumas that have kept you still, and you can look past the petty small things that you think will fix your circumstances and really head down a path of healing, of self-discovery, you will find that you are capable of a lot more than you originally realized. You'll find that you're not only capable of the things that you dream of being capable of, but you will find that you're capable of things you never dreamed you were capable of. You're capable of all new things, completely unique things, extraordinary things. The third and final deck. This is the past position, any time in the last 3 months to a year, or yesterday, apparently, for this card. That's strange. The center card is your current position or your concept of what your current position is. These cards are slippery. The third and final card is the future, anytime in the next 9 months to maybe 13 months. 9 to 13 months. Your past card is the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of terror. For you, you have so many tools at your disposal. You have so many things going for you, but it's all just a little bit off. It's spooked. Your horses are strong and healthy, but they can't see where they're going. You have your ravens on lookout, but their ramblings are just that, they're ramblings. Your light is shining the way and it isn't cutting through the fog. You have no idea if there's even ground below you. The moon is huge, and a huge moon creates waves. A huge moon creates unrest, craziness, magic in the air. You are in a time of upheaval. Your life is turning upside down, and maybe this is because there's a change in the spiritual. there's a shift in your vibration, there's a shift in who you are, but there isn't, the physical is reacting and it's taking time. So your physical life is turning upside down, it's turning sideways, all the blocks are falling out onto the floor and they're mixing the colors and you can't seem to sort them back in the bins fast enough. This chaos is not an ending. It's necessary to get through this chaos. The middle card is the Hermit. The middle card is the Hermit. The Hermit card is all about seeking truth. A lot of you will be familiar with the Hermit. I've actually just had another reading with the Hermit, but this one is different. This is a true truth seeker. This Hermit is determined to find the answer to what they seek. The answer that is inside them. It's the answer to who they are, to what they are, to where they're going, what their next steps are, to really understanding the universe. The Hermit is someone who knows that every question has an answer and is determined then to also find and understand the answer. And when that answer leads to another question, they will then dive into the answer for the next question and so on. The Hermit is determined to understand, but it takes time to know and understand the truth that you're seeking. And it's also important to notice that you're looking everywhere. Your truth, your inner truth is everywhere. It is reflected in everything. It's reflected in nature. It's reflected in writings. It's reflected in past experience, in your future experience, in your past lives. It's reflected in the people around you. It's reflected in your physical situation, in your spiritual situation, in your mental health. It's everywhere. And the only way to make it clear to yourself is to take a break, to take a step back, a step out of your situation, a step away, a calm, quiet, meditative alone time, whatever that means to you, to really, truly reset for Imbolc, to really, truly reset before spring comes. Because the truth, while it's in everything around you, it's inside of you. And instead of digging in and clawing in and trying to pull it out and try to coax it out, relax. Let it float to the surface. Let it exist. Let it become a part of your awareness. Accept it. Be there with it in peace. The final card, the future card, is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is interesting because you've had some very, very powerful cards up until now, and it's not that the Five of Wands isn't powerful, but really what it's telling you is to reflect back on what you've already learned in the previous parts of this reading. The Five of Wands is telling you that your fire, your passion, your intuition, what you know and what you see and what you feel and what you hear, what people are saying are all clashing. These things are all butting heads. They're all sounding like multiple voices, and they all have very convincing arguments. It is very difficult to know what to believe and where to go. And is it anxiety or is it intuition? What is the truth? What is guiding you? And what this card is really reminding you is that the clash will deepen. The clash will become thicker if you don't circle back to what you know and that peace that you found. Circle back to the steadfastness, the wisdom inside yourself. And don't be afraid to say, I don't see it, I don't know it, I don't understand it. You don't have to get riled up when you're confronted. When someone says, well, why doesn't the physical look the way you say it should? Why aren't these things manifesting for you? Where are they? If they're here, where are they? Show them to us. You're not responsible for that. You don't have anything to prove. You don't have to prove anything. Your life isn't happening on your timing. It is happening for you, but time it's a human construct. It's linear time isn't real. What matters is finding your peace. Always circling back to that and using it, allowing it to help you understand and drift and take a step at a time, so you can avoid the clutter, the noise, and the chaos by purely allowing it to flow around you. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you found some meaning, some value in the tarot reading that you chose. I just wanted to make a couple of notes before I said goodbye. One of the cards that showed up in 2 of the readings was the Hermit, and it showed up in the same position in 2 readings, and I thought it was really interesting because in the context of the reading, the Hermit meant something slightly different. It was the same character, but it was displaying different characteristics. And I just thought it was so interesting that that card showed up twice. Thought it was very interesting that that card showed up in the same position twice from 2 different decks. The variations in meaning that I found in that card based on the reading, the deck. So that to me is really interesting. I think it's indicative of where we are right now. We're in 2020, we're in the beginning of the year, things are really starting to get rolling. When you watch this, January might be over, will be over. To me, to think about us collectively being in a similar place while we're not all thinking and feeling the same things, and we're not all in need of the same exact things, because we're all connected. I really feel like this idea of us coming into ourselves as individuals and seeking our own personal truth and making peace with it is a theme. It is a theme. It's a theme for the next decade. It's a theme for this year. It's a theme for all of us as we connect and as we band together and form new friendships, relationships, alliances, try to save the planet. It just seemed very significant to me. So if you did happen to watch the whole video, which you by no means need to watch the whole video, but if you felt like you wanted to watch the whole video and you saw how that sort of progressed, I'd actually really love to hear your thoughts about that. I'd also love to hear what you got out of your reading. So if you wouldn't mind, leave that in the comments down below. I read them all and I respond to as many of them as I can. I need you to leave comments because of the algorithm, but like one of the things that has always helped me the most when I'm watching YouTube videos by people that I really respect is the community in the comment section, the amount of people that can like lift each other up and can help each other sort things out and get through things. It's just so beautiful. So I like to see that happening. If you feel the desire to share, please do, because we're all here for you. We're here together. Thank you again to my patrons. If you are interested in supporting me on Patreon, the link is down below. Thank you, witches. I hope you have a beautiful February, a blessed Imbolc, and a blessed and beautiful day.